Hey y'all, happy Wednesday. I just wanted to touch base on something. So I know yesterday I did a video and I was talking about us being in a seller's market in Brunswick County. And that of course raised the question, is it a good time to buy? I would have to argue that I do still think it's a good time to buy, and here's why. So real estate, in the real estate market, it's really not as simple as supply and demand 101. In a very basic supply and demand equation, you are searching for the perfect amount of supply and the perfect amount of demand for market equilibrium, and you're trying to create that pricing. The real estate market is not that simple. We have other factors that come into play, such as locations, interest rates. Some areas will always maintain a certain level of interest, as in demand, not the rate, of course. And then we also have interest rates that come into play, and they do have an impact on pricing. Regardless, in a lot of markets, home prices are not going down. The current prices will maintain their current value or even possibly increase depending on conditions. So anyways, the real estate market can be very confusing, especially if you're not right in front of it every day. Some people are right in front of it every day, and it still can be perplexing. So anyways, I have a 6-year-old, and I thought, why don't I do a scenario explaining this, how I might explain it to her. So let's dive into this. Let's say interest rates are what they are today. We're gonna bring back some old school word math problems, and let's say I have 3 kids and 3 apples. My apples are gonna be the homes when interest rates are high, and I think right now we can all agree that rates are high. We would all like to see interest rates come down, and anyways, so my kids are gonna be the buyers, and my chores are gonna be the home prices. So if I have 3 kids and 3 apples, my kids, they're probably not fighting over apples unless they're really, really hungry, which would play into motivation of buyers. If I have 3 kids and 1 apple, even if they don't like apples, they might start fighting over an apple, and I might be able to ask them to do some chores for an apple. Competition is going to come into play. If I have 3 apples and I have 1 kid, my kid might not even want an apple because there's absolutely no competition. So now we're going to change it up. Instead of apples, I'm going to change this into candy bars. It's still a home, but there's going to be competitive interest rates. Homes are now my candy bars. There is more demand, so stay with me. Let's run through this again. So, if I now have candy bars instead of apples, and I have 3 kids and 3 candy bars, I can still entice them with chores possibly. This is our home price. I can potentially get them to do more because we now have candy instead of an apple. Now let's say I have 1 kid and 3 candy bars. They might not be inclined to do enough chores for all 3 candy bars, but they are more inclined to do chores for at least 1 candy bar versus what they might have been for an apple. Now let's say I have 1 candy bar and 3 kids. The competition is going to be much greater. I might even have a very clean house after this, and only 1 kid will have a candy bar. If this didn't make sense to you, and I hope it did, once interest rates go down, the prices of homes are going up. This is now going to bring in a whole new pool of buyers into the market. And once the price of homes goes up, even if you have a lower interest rate, you are always locked into the price that you bought your home for. So if you buy when home prices are maybe lower and interest rates are higher, you do have the option to choose to lower your interest rate at some point. I am, again, not telling anyone to run out and buy, but I think there are many factors that come into play in the real estate market. It's not simple. It really comes down to your personal motivations, your circumstances, your needs. But yeah, if you are interested in buying or selling in Brunswick County, I would love to chat with you. I would love to hear from you. Call me. My phone number is 919-633-6274. Thanks, y'all.